You move your head. There we go. Where's I don't see where the chat is though. There's the chat. I don't see anybody saying anything though.
No, because I think now it's a new live one.
All right, I'm going to share it. Share it on my page. Post. Hurry up. All right. I'm just texting Josh.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you'll hit record. I'm gonna share here.
Okay.
That's right. She finds you crusty, Dave.
This is bigger than friendship. This is what you call cosmic. Yeah. The Buddhists call it, let me see, reincarnation.
Mushy. Hey, wait a minute. Since when is Pismo Beach inside a cave? I wonder, I just think we should have turned left at Albuquerque. And maybe a right turn at La Jolla.
Shush! Hush, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God, shenanigans. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans or shenanigans?
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
So is my mic really hot?
Is that like a mulligan? Not bad. It's okay. Yeah. I don't know. I've
I just gotta lower my own personal volume, I think.
here, turn down my
That's better.
headphones here. Volume.
Volume. When you say volume. Hey, it says we're streaming right now. Look at this.
Sweet mother.
There you go. It says it's on. I don't know.
I'm not a crook.
I'm not a crook. Oh my God. Anyway, how's your week been?
Oh, week's been busy.
Yeah.
Busy, yeah.
Is work like kind of dumb?
I don't know, usually the end of March, the end of the year, everything gets condensed within the last couple of weeks of March.
Yep.
Next year will be my daughter's wedding. That'll be at the end of March, also, I believe,
Yeah, March, April.
around the 16th or so. So it's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do at work. It'll be like, okay, I'll try and get everything done before I go. Because when I get back, I'll be like, was year end done? How'd it go?
When is your year
I
end?
wasn't here. March 31st.
March 31st?
Yeah.
Oy. Yeah, our year end is at the end of the year.
Like the
But
actual
yep,
December,
December 31st.
and that's it. Joy.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's oh, there's Josh Michael. Hey there, Josh. You seeing this? Yeah, oh man, I don't know. I've been so stressed out this week. I was actually looking forward to tonight, and then I kind of effed up a whole bunch of stuff. And then I don't know, I screwed up schedules. I thought like we were supposed to have a podcast meeting tonight, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't tonight because I messed up the dates.
Oh, I thought it was, yeah,
You thought
weird.
you thought it was tonight too?
Yeah. I guess I
I
didn't
don't know.
look at the calendar properly.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm actually well, and like I'm part of it is on like tomorrow I'm supposed to go out,
Right.
which I don't usually go out and do stuff, but I am going out and doing stuff. So I don't want to go out and do stuff. I like staying at home. But tomorrow I'm actually going to go see a band,
Okay.
the CD release party tomorrow.
Oh,
When's the last time I did one of those?
6 months ago? No?
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw a Fuller Hall.
Yeah,
Is
something
that
like
the show
that.
you're talking about?
Could be. Very well could be.
Yeah, I went with Sam
Yeah. So with all
Bushleys.
this, yeah. So with all this tariff stuff, how's that affecting your work?
Immensely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like going to work. Honestly, like lately it's just been exhausting.
Yeah.
There's just too much
Well, they're
there's
on
just too
pause
much
now.
going
Does
on.
that help you?
What's that?
So it's on pause now. So does that help you?
Um no, it's just like it's the problem is the stopping and starting and in my business there's a lot like we have to process customs paperwork and then the customs paperwork gets sent to the broker, then we get acknowledgement that it's been sent to the broker, so we wait for it to clear, and then it doesn't clear, and
Right.
then we get a message back from the customs broker saying, hey, by the way, this isn't clearing, the shipment's been canceled, the paperwork has to be redone. So then we contact the customer, and it's just this whole rigmarole we have to do. It's just exhausting.
Yeah. Well, we're getting the same
It,
thing with the vendors saying, "Oh, well, we have to charge you a tariff." We have a contract with you, and this is the contract pricing. It's got nothing to do with tariffs. So
yeah.
then there's that whole thing to deal with.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm
never
sure
even thought of that with
manufacturing,
you.
everybody's affected by it. I think in some way or another. But oh well, just gotta ride the
Well,
wave, I guess. Ride
well,
the wave
here's
to the bottom. It's like
have you seen it in like outside of work? This tariff baloney?
I
Like
don't know. We went and I don't know if it was a type of, well, I don't know if it's affected groceries. Have you noticed any difference on like on our end?
not specifically. I mean, groceries have been expensive for a while because of Loblaws has been ripping people off for a while. And then there was the ban Loblaws thing that was going on. Remember, like, I don't know, a year ago,
Okay, yeah.
then Trudeau was supposed to fix everything, and then there was these protests and stuff.
Mhm.
So I mean, the groceries have always been high. I haven't noticed it being any higher than it has been. Like, it's still like fucking messy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy. So what are you drinking?
Um, oh, I got to tell the story.
Okay.
Um, let's see if I even have. I might. I don't know if I get the proper sound bite,
Mushy, mushy.
but it ties into that one. Oh, I don't think I have it here. Uncle Tom, who guest hosted on the last Metal Shop,
Hmm.
got me a bottle of Bearface.
What's Bareface?
Bearface, it's a whiskey, which I thought was from Alberta, but I guess it's from BC.
Okay.
And you can't get it in Manitoba anymore. They discontinued it because I didn't understand this, but apparently there's like a trade war is not the right word to use, but there is a back and forth between the provinces. Manitoba's going to buy Manitoba, brewery and stuff. But if you want to get a microbrewery from Manitoba, you want to buy it in Alberta. You're not likely going to get it. It's harder to get, and kind of the more provinces out we go, I think the harder it is to get things.
Well,
So
I think they're going to start doing that instead of going, south of the border. They might expand that. I know that the Trailer Park Boys come out with a new um, beverage from Coldstream.
oh
They've got one. Bubbles has one. It's like a creamsicle. I think it's
oh
a.
nice.
I know it's a vodka based one, and then
Okay.
Ricky's got one. It's I know it's a lime. I think, and then of course Julian's got the one. It's got. I think it's a cola and some type of rum, I
Really?
believe. But they're only
Because they
5%,
use
so 5 to 7%, depending on which
so
one you.
so they used to have one called Liquorman or something like
Liquorman's,
that.
yeah. I think they were talking
Yeah,
about
I've
them.
actually yeah, I bought that before. It's actually quite good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
cool.
now they got other flavors. Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, but they're just cans, they're like Coldstream cans.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's cool. Can we get it here? No. And like you said, like
Nope.
they're in Nova Scotia, so I think it's only going to go out as far as maybe Quebec. I don't know if it's going to go into Ontario or not, but it's I don't know. I've gone to a liquor store here; they don't carry Coldstream, so even to get their stuff, versus any of their brewery stuff. But it would be nice if they had, through Canada, they would have all the breweries within Canada you'd have access to. That'd be
Well,
cool.
apparently there's a barrier. There's a grade that goes back and forth, so they're not allowed to.
Well, that's
Well,
bullshit.
that's bullshit.
It's Canada
Well,
for
we're
Canada.
fucking Canada, man.
Province to
It's not like
province. It's not like a border. Like it's not like smoking the bandit. As soon as the guy goes across the border, it's like, it's your problem now.
yeah, like that's not
I don't have
yeah.
jurisdiction.
I mean, because the RCMP, for example, is all of Canada,
Yeah.
right? So like, and then you have like city police for each city,
Right.
but then you got RCMP that crosses like the whole country. So like, why do we have trade barriers within our fucking country for booze? It just sounds like the stupidest thing. Do you remember Dino Bravo,
Yep.
the wrestler Dino Bravo?
Yep.
He's from
Heard of the
Quebec,
guy.
right? He ended up getting killed by some like mafia guys or whatever. Um, because he was smuggling cigarettes across the border from Quebec to Ontario or Ontario to Manitoba or whatever the fuck it was.
God.
He got killed because the cigarette prices from province to province are dramatically different. I think cheaper in Ontario maybe is what it is. So he was
Oh
like
yeah. If
smuggling
you're,
them into Quebec or maybe the other way around.
it's crazy because because you'd go to Ontario and the lakes or whatever, and then you'd come back and they'd bring cartons of cigarettes, but you were only allowed so many to come across. And then
Right.
some people were just loading up, right? Because they were so cheap out there versus out here. It's like, it's freaking Canada for fuck's sakes. Just the same price across the board. It should be the same thing for fuel. I mean, sure. you know, the west of the country, I mean, they've
They
got the
make the
oil wells
fuel.
or whatever that make the fuel.
Yep.
Share within your own country for frig's sakes. Everybody's so tight, and it's like, well, we can only sell to these people, and we can only sell to these. Why? Why?
Why?
And,
Yeah, it
and I
doesn't
think
make
that's
any
going to
sense.
have to change. I don't know if it'll change to the point where they'll sell like liquor in actual grocery stores. I don't know
Well,
if
they
it,
do in other provinces.
but yeah,
Like they do in Ontario. We went to Costco and you could buy, booze that was like $10 a bottle cheaper.
yeah, and yeah,
It's like,
Costco you can buy it in a BC, and in the big bottle, it's they say it's comparable to was it Grey Goose, but
okay, yeah. Yeah, the Kirkland brands, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, why just there? Like,
Yeah.
why have a different rules for different provinces? I don't know. Some things, I mean, provincially, yeah, you can control, but something that's so common in a grander scale. I mean, even legal drinking age back home, New Brunswick was 18. I don't know if that's changed. If you went to PEI, or sorry, 19 in New Brunswick at the
Oh yeah.
time, and then you go
19%.
to PEI and you could drink your face off if you wanted to because it was only 18.
Yeah.
Why?
It's dumb.
I
I'm,
mean,
I'm
U.S. is 21, but it's across the board at least. It's not.
yeah, yeah.
I lost a full year of partying when I moved out to Manitoba. Everybody had a year under the belt already.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Dude, what was it? 19 back home?
Hmm.
It was 18 here.
Yep.
Legal drinking age 18.
Yep. Probably everywhere else except for New Brunswick, but
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't
These
know if
rules
that's
are these rules are so dumb. Doesn't make any sense.
yeah.
So tomorrow CD release party I'm going to.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave. We're old men, Todd. So I'm gonna leave the house about 9:30. You go out.
It's
So like
usually
God.
getting close to bedtime there.
Mm. Hey, when your band plays their shows and you're doing like 3 sets or 4 sets or whatever, what time do you set up and what time do you start playing? Like when you play like the canoe club and places like that.
Jeez. I think it
You're
was.
playing
I
late.
think we started at 8. I think it
Okay,
was.
so that's better.
Yeah. And then you had to finish. I think you have to be quiet by is it 11 or 12 or something like that. But that's because you're outside.
Oh yeah, because there's a noise bylaw there.
Yeah. If you're inside, I mean, as long as your doors are closed, you should be fine. You should be fine.
Yeah. Uh, so I don't know. I don't know how, but it's Saturday, so maybe I can take a nap during the day, then to go out, and then it's even though it's their city release party, they're not headlining. They're actually playing metal, like 3 bands.
Right.
I don't know the other 2 bands. I did I tell you who I'm seeing?
Say it again.
Lash and the Arsonists.
Flash or lash? Like eyelash or flash in a pan?
No, ash is in like fire,
Oh,
fiber.
ash.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
and then what kind of music is that?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to hear it?
Sure, play sample.
I mean, that's the whole point. Like we can do the share thing here. So I'm just opening it up. I even had it kind of saved. Oh, Coachella is live right now, and you can watch Coachella live right now on YouTube Music. That's pretty cool.
I don't know who that is.
Well, Coachella's it's like the big freaking music festival.
Oh, okay.
Ash and the Arsonists. So this just dropped today. This shit, which okay, so it's a 5-song EP.
Okay.
They've had some of these songs I've already played on the radio. Here, let's give this song a listen here. I'm sure it's not turned up too loud. Can you hear it? Oh, by the way, you know that static that you're hearing?
Yep.
That's actually coming from your end. For
I'm
some
getting.
reason,
Oh, actually, no. I don't get it. I'm not getting any static on my end.
I get a feedback from your side, but I don't know how. Anyway, that's their new song, their brand new song. They released like three other singles before this. That song's freaking heavy, but this is more what they sound like. This one here.
Is get that Zach Wild. I think there's that.
Yeah.
Run your mouth once again. One too many times. Go tell all your silly friends. Your petty lies don't ever call me a friend. Better watch your back. You'll get what's coming in the end. My contender, you're gonna die. Don't even try to avoid it.
Yeah, I've got automatic noise suppression on now. How's it sound? Better?
Oh, you know what? I think better. You know what? I'm just gonna share. They have a music video.
Do you know what you're going to hear on the way home?
What? No, it's so true. So
Yeah.
true. Optimize, share sound, optimize for video. Here, I'm going to share this. Yeah, let's get back to the beginning here. And you can you get an idea what they kind of look like. You can see this?
Run your mouth once again. One too many times. Go tell all your silly friends. Your petty lies don't ever call me a friend. Better watch your back. You'll get what's coming in the end. My contender, you're gonna die. Don't even try to avoid it. Seek the truth.
Are you seeing this at all, Todd?
Yeah, it's not very often you see a female backup singer for, I don't call it death metal, but what do you call
Hard
this?
rock, I guess.
Well, different than the hard rock we grew up with, but yeah, it's just that that type of music. When I first saw him, I was like, oh look, the Bare Naked Ladies are doing death metal now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna play just a little bit more. So I know the bass player there, that's Matt, who I work with. He's a pretty cool dude.
Okay.
Um, did they got another lead? Let's- Hey, I know these guys. Hang on a second. Todd, do you recognize these two?
He looks familiar, but
Quote the Sun. Isn't that the
both
guy
of
from
some
Quote the Sun?
it could be.
Because there was a guy with dreads and his girlfriend who was in the band and played bass. He played guitar, this guy, I think.
Yeah, and she played a 5-string bass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
could be.
Because okay, so here's the interesting thing. So the old drummer for Ash in the Arsonists,
Right.
um, um, was the drummer for Quote the Sun.
Which was the tattoo artist? No, no, sorry, different guy.
No, you're thinking Fidel,
Yeah, sorry,
Fidel
remember.
something.
Yeah,
He was in the other band there that
yeah, I keep mixing them all up.
oh God, Fidel Romero or something. I think his name was tattoo artist. Okay, let's just watch a bit more here.
Tell me what you wanna hear. You're not making this very clear. You always wanted your own way. Tell me what you're trying to say. Just one more night. Don't stay down here with me. Just one more time. Don't stay and watch me
What do you think?
Good. It's really good.
So this is from the new EP as well. We've
It
got
was
two
well.
EPs.
It was well produced too. It sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds really.
very good.
I don't know if you noticed in this video compared to the other video, there's another guitar player there. So that's Joe. He's a new, well, he's not new anymore, but they decided to add a second guitar player to the band,
Oh,
and he's from the Van Halen school of guitar.
okay.
So, um,
Totally different genres.
isn't it right?
Right.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit different, but it's interesting because when I was talking to Matt, he's like, um, Joe will say, "Do you want me to Van Halen this up at all?" Or you know,
There's
but
some
he's
tin
Van
tapping,
Halen.
some pull
Yeah,
offs, hammer-ons, and some.
but Joe's pretty good. He's actually pretty well spoken. They were just on Witch Police
Oh, cool.
talking about the show for this Saturday show. I think it was on Witch Police this week. Oh yeah, by the way, Witch Police Radio.
There you go.
Anyway, I'm wondering if how Josh felt about that. You know, Josh who loves the hard rock stuff.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah, like I'm actually kind of excited. I mean, I haven't been to a live show in a long time, so
Well, I'm getting up to the point now where it's like, yeah, get home, put the sweats on, you know, and chill. But that's kind of thing. Going out is like, it's too much work. You got to get ready and Gotta go out in the cold. Although now today, actually, it was it 11 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think.
we were just playing like out in the front yard, and I had a hoodie and a t-shirt. It was great.
Yeah. See, my backyard's like there's still a lot of water back there.
Yeah.
Plus, we like to feed the rabbits sometimes, so there's a lot of rabbit
Mm,
back there. So it's
yeah.
like you gotta you gotta scrape the shoes off when you come in. Yeah.
And Josh, my calendar still says 1987. A little out of my wheelhouse. My calendar still says 1987. That's awesome. But I'm kind of excited. Like they're eh, okay, because Todd, I think you agree. Out of all the bands we played with, I mean, we got along with everybody pretty much.
Yeah.
But one of our favorites was definitely Quote the Sun.
Yep.
Um, they're just like
Really down to
the
earth.
nicest. Oh,
Yeah.
just the nicest. Just the nice. Like everybody in the band was so freaking nice. Do you remember the drummer from that band at all?
Yep. Yeah. I spoke to them a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very down to earth. They're not, they've got no, what do you call it? Egos or anything. They're up there to
Oh,
have fun. And that's what it's all about.
yeah. No, they were like well, I mean on our CD release, like the first thing we said, you guys have to play with us, like period, period. Because yeah, Holly was a phenomenal powerhouse of a singer.
Now, is that band still together? Is she still singing
No,
with them?
no, she went and she did some solo kind of mucking around. I don't think she played guitar before, but I think she was learning guitar around the time that the band kind of broke up. And I
Okay.
think the two people in that video, I think they had left the band. I think they
Right.
had a kid or something. They're having a kid, so I think they kind of stopped.
I don't remember
And
her having dreads though. Like he had dreads, but I don't think she had any at the time. But when she got
I
up off
don't
the couch, it was like, okay, you could tell that she's got some braids or something.
don't know if she had dreads either at the time.
I just
Shit,
know
I can't
that
remember now.
she had a the bass, 5 string bass was a oh, what brand was it? Can't remember now.
You
Yeah,
can't hear that crying in
ES
the background, can you?
ESP, I think it was. No,
Okay, good. Oh my God, it's out of control.
what is it? The kids? Dog.
Yeah. Um,
Mine. No, leave my stuff alone.
Here, I'm gonna put on here we go. Quote the Sun song.
An old one?
Yeah.
It's a delicious delirium. Watching your pandemonium. Where your demons roam free. To wander aimlessly for peace. And they're coming after me.
You know what? Let's see. I want to see a lot. I want to watch them so you can actually,
See them playing?
yeah. Here, let me just do a share screen. I I,
Do
I
they have a
want
video out? Or
what's
is
that?
this live? Do they have a video out or is this live?
No, this is live. My mouse is dying. That's not good. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen here. There we go. Optimize for sound. You can see it here.
I'll put you down!
No, that's not a good one. Let's see if we can find something better. Oh wait, videos, videos,
That was at
videos.
that club that didn't have a stage.
I think so, yeah.
Didn't that one burnt down?
Oh, I don't know.
Remember, it was like the very first place we played, and it was like we had to play on the floor.
Oh, okay. Village Idiots. We were supposed to play here once before. You still seeing this?
Yep.
Live at the Roslyn. This is just Holly, though, I think.
This one is called Your Ghost, and I wrote it for a friend of mine who passed away last October. I was walking on my own, not sure where I should turn next. All the pieces in my soul fell apart in one big mess. There you stood in all your glory, warm, smiling, precious.
What's your thoughts so far?
Very different sound coming from her. This is more defined for sure. Mind you, I mean the PA from the other one didn't really do her.
Oh, that was a bad PA there. Yeah, I agreed.
But yeah, her voice is matured. It's very nice.
She did a whole bunch. I wish I could actually find. She had a YouTube channel there for a while, and it was just her playing acoustic guitar and singing stuff. She'd do like an Evanescence song, but with acoustic guitar, I think, or something.
Right.
I contacted her in the last like 6 months just to see how she's doing, and she seems in a really really solid place right now,
Oh, good.
and I think she's talking about doing music again. So I just like they didn't ask your permission, but I'm like, hey, you got anything? I don't give a shit. Todd and I will have you on the show, and we'll promote the shit out of your stuff. Like I don't care what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause, yeah, she's like just like easily like I don't know if you remember. She actually gave us hugs when we played. She was like a huggy person. I like that. I don't know. She's fucking cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Well,
And going back to she's sharing audio. All right. Josh, is there something you want to say here? Something you want us to play? Is there something you want to introduce Todd to? I don't even know what we were going to talk about today. We kind of had nothing planned, just sort of.
well, we didn't really grab from our list.
Well, no, okay, I'm going to grab the list here.
Okay. We usually do it on the fly, but
Okay, we did this one.
as soon as we start something, we'll turn left at Albuquerque at some point.
Oh yeah, we certainly will.
Say, I knew I should have made a left turn at Albuquerque.
Oh yeah.
You found
Okay,
a good
what's
one?
this? I've got something here that I think you're supposed to watch. Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah. Okay. God damn it! I gotta share screen again. This was something interesting that popped up that I think Sylvie shared with me. I don't know if I can get to the beginning of it though. Stop it. Are you seeing my screen here, Todd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupidly simple, but somehow it keeps on getting lost. Studio made their game because they wanted to make a game that they wanted to play themselves. They created it because it hadn't been created before. They didn't make it to increase market share. They didn't make it to serve as a brand. They didn't have to meet arbitrary sales targets or fear being laid off if they didn't meet those targets. And furthermore, the people in charge forbade them from cramming the game with anything whose only purpose was to increase revenue and didn't serve the game design. They didn't treat their developers like numbers on a spreadsheet. They didn't treat their players as users to exploit. And they didn't make decisions they knew were short-sighted and function of a bonus or politics. They knew that if you put the game and the team first, the revenue will follow. They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun. They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game because they loved games. It's really that simple. It's stupidly simple.
So what do you think of that?
I liked it. I like the but is it a game I'd play?
Oh, I don't know, but isn't that kind of cool? Like what they did there?
Like Baldur's Gate or something?
Yeah, it's Baldur's Gate 3, yeah.
Okay. I think we play one time when it first came out? Isn't that like you look down on an angle?
Oh, Diablo, perhaps, maybe, or
Maybe I'm not thinking of the same one. So what games are you playing now?
Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so the interesting thing with Baldur's Gate is that they circumvented every fucking rule of the gaming industry when they made the game. They didn't promise a due date, whatever,
Right.
in advance. Like they didn't say 2 years from now, September 31st, 30th, we're gonna put this game out. They never said that. They said we're making the game.
Grand Theft Auto 6 sometime in 2025, but not on PC.
But they made the game they wanted to, and there was a push to release it early, to overwork the programmers and designers and writers, to overwork them, make them work around the clock. Let's meet a date. If we don't meet a date, if it takes too long to make this game, no one's going to buy the game. It's not going to sell. If we need to have additional things in there that we can charge for, like, oh, you want to buy the suit of armor? Okay, well, that's going to charge you. We'll charge you an extra $5.99 to buy this armor for your character in the game. We're going to charge you an extra $5 to ride a pony in the game. We're gonna, like, they're just nickel and diming like all the games do nowadays, right? They
Yeah,
refuse to do all that
you
stuff.
can work for it, or if you don't want to work for it, you can pay for it.
But no, they don't have a pay of anything. You have to just earn it.
Right.
Like that's the way it works. So they basically circumvented every rule that every other game follows, like Overwatch and all those types of games, Call of Duty. There's always these additional buy-ins. But then there's also all these stories like at Blizzard where the all the employees are just being abused like crazy. Like they're being like, like being threatened to fire, and then the pay's not always good, and there's always these problems. The company that made Baldur's Gate 3, they paid their employees, they didn't overwork them. It was a great environment apparently. And so they finally released the game. It was like, oh, fucking games, oh, finally. And it went like gangbusters because the game was perfect. They released it when the game was done, not before it was done, and not with, oh, don't worry, we'll have a patch to fix that. We'll have a patch to fix that. We'll have no. They released the game when it was fucking done instead of releasing it early with it buggy as hell.
Right.
So, and then the game comes out and it broke a bunch of, I don't know
Well,
what's
it's like console games. Remember in the cartridges and the CDs?
yeah.
One of those things we said, oh, well, we're going to put a patch on it. No, you can't put a patch
No
on
patch
it.
back
The games-
then.
No, the games were the games, and that was it. But don't forget that it was a little more simple when it came to all the things they're trying to jam into it now. And I can see where it's like, okay, well, we're going to put this in. It's a little buggy, but we'll fix that later type thing.
Yeah.
So you're going to,
But that's what they do. They don't
take
worry
your
about
time,
fixing things.
do it. Once that's done, we'll move on to the next thing. If you're under 30 and you're able to work in that work environment in the gaming industry, I'm sure that's probably fine. But once you get past 30, I'm sure it's like, I'm getting too old for this stuff, right? Just stress, and deadline. It's just like crazy. Like when you're young, you can, probably live on a couple hours sleep. I mean, just take, for example, when you go to the bar when you were younger,
Yeah.
okay, versus now.
I don't
It's
need to
like my stamina is not the same as it was back when I was in my 20s. So,
yeah. Like so but it's interesting. So this game is now revered. It's out now, it's revered, everyone's playing it. And not only are people playing it, they're playing the whole thing through and playing it again. The replayability value is ridiculous on this game. Like I'm on my third iteration of the game. I haven't finished, but I'm on my third iteration because I want to play it different because it's one of those every choice you make changes the game.
right.
So like if you play evil and you keep playing evil and your conversations with the characters in the game are evil,
Right.
then your whole game is going to go down a whole different route.
Now, in a nutshell, for anyone who doesn't know what Baldur's Gate is, what type of gameplay is it? Is it where you walk up to people and you talk to them and you give them different answers? Is it one of those things where you
Yeah.
just type it in like Bork or Orf or what was
No.
the
It gives you choices. So A, B, C, D, and E or whatever
independent
things
of
you
what
can
you
say.
answer will depend on how the game goes. So the
Well,
multiplayability is there more so than if more of it's a linear game where it's like, okay, well, this is the storyline and that's it. That's just the way it
but it's
goes.
also, yeah, so it's also following the rules of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So what happens is you'll have choices, and depending on which type of character you're playing and how your stats are it's going to determine what sort of prompts you get. So, for example, you're talking to somebody and you just met them for the first time. So there's a scene in the game where you're traveling down the road and then you see this dwarf lying on the ground. He's bleeding, and there's two people standing over top of him.
Right.
And you walk in and they're like, "Who are you?" And so you have the option of answering, "We're here to kill you. Run while you can," or "Don't worry, we're here to help. What happened?" Or "Who's that on the floor?" Or like there's different options. But as you're talking, there's different, depending on what kind of character you're playing, you might have the option of intimidate. You might have the option of uh, diplomacy or whatever. You might have the option to use your class to, like, if you're a paladin, you might say, "I work for the realm and I'm here to make sure there's no banditry going on here." Or if you're playing a druid, you might be, "Oh, I'm with nature. Let me see if I can use my nature spells to heal this person." You have different options. And then when you pick the option, then you have to roll a dice to see if you succeed. So you'll see a big dice pop up on the screen, get
Right.
wide or, do it, and you do a bonus to that dice based upon what type of character you're playing, what your stats are, if you've got any spells on, if you're wearing particular armor that enchants, imagine World of Warcraft, I guess.
So it's like a real time, but not really. They kind of
It's real.
stop. Oh, okay, you're going to swing now. You hit the button, it rolls, and then basically it tells you what you
Mm, well, it is turn based to an extent, but you can turn that off.
hmm
So I think you have the option of playing both ways, but we play turn based. But what happens is you say, "Okay, I want to shoot an arrow at this guy." So you select shoot the arrow and it rolls for you. Like you don't see the roll, it tells you if you succeeded or failed. But on decisions where you're trying to persuade somebody, you're trying to do something that's kind of in more not live time, but just in a conversation, you'll actually get to roll the dice and see what you get. So it's a D&D game that follows all the D&D rules, turn based or live. You can play it live, and it's amazing. Like it's it's so much fun.
Hmm. And when
But
did Baldur's Gate 1 come out? Because I remember I've heard of
oh
the
god,
game,
forever ago.
but this was, yeah, forever ago. Now, is it the same
It was
developers?
at least two. It was at least two consoles ago, maybe older than that. No, probably older than that. I think it might have been first edition Xbox, or maybe even older than that.
Right. So is it the same developers?
No, no. This the number three is a different set of developers,
Okay.
but it's like we've sat down and played it for 8 hours at a go,
Wow.
like without even batting an eye. And then Ellie will sit down with us and watch.
Right.
She's an avid, but we have to be careful. Like uh, there's settings you can turn up or down based on sexuality and nudity and I don't know if you can turn the language off or not.
Okay.
Um,
Cool that it's got those options.
yeah, like because I like sometimes I'll wander around the camp wearing a fig leaf, and
Look around. I'm going to take it
I'm a
off.
fat little ugly dwarf. Kind of funny. But anyway, like so, but there's even when you're creating your character, it's his hair, eyes, it's nose, blah blah blah. And you select all these things, and then there's a section that goes genitalia. You get to pick what kind of genitalia you have and what it looks like. Is it big? Is it small? Is it? But yeah, there's sex scenes. Josh was just saying I picked up a Hughes and Kettner cream machine from Reverb, but that's a blast from the past.
Wow.
You know what that is?
Yeah, it's an amp. Is that so? Is that an 18 volt? 18
Let's see what
volt.
he says here.
18 watts. Sorry, 18 volt. Duh.
18 volts.
It's
Well,
the
what is it? So it's a little min. It's like a smaller amp, Todd.
used in Kettner. Yeah, it's usually it's an amp. The ones now they normally have like a blue light on the inside, and it's got like a clear plexi on the
Oh,
front. It says
yeah,
used
yeah,
in
okay,
Kettner. I think
yeah, yeah.
Rush. I think Alex Lifeson had was using some of their stuff. You can get the miser, and there's a couple ones where you can kind of do your own thing to try and get your own sound out of it. I think you can actually change the tubes to different tubes, 6L6s or EL34s or.
1 watt. Yeah.
Mm,
1 watt. Fuck.
tube miser.
Tube miser. Well, let's see what he says here. I don't know if we have like a 30-second delay or how this works, but um, I don't know, man.
Well, some of them have selective wattage in the back too. So if you want to go 1 watt, or if it's 5 watt, or
Oh yeah,
go
yeah.
full wattage and stuff.
Hey,
I've
do you
got
want you? What was that one that Alex had, Todd? What was that? That orange thing.
that
Was it orange?
orange. No, it wasn't orange.
What color was it?
Well, he wanted a triple rectifier, but he couldn't afford one at the time. So he had a oh, what brand is it now? I don't know if it's made by Behringer. It's
Behringer.
Behringer. I can't remember. Um,
They make amps.
yeah, geez, I can't even remember the name of it now. Bugera, Bugera. He had one of those. It was kind of like a triple rectifier clone type thing.
Okay.
And I had a Bugera. It was supposed to be a plexi clone kind of idea, but it had hi-fi tubes. It didn't sound the same, or was it hi-fi transformer? I don't know. It just didn't have that sound I wanted.
Yeah.
And I brought it to Jam when we were with Dome, like when we first started.
Oh, okay.
It was like, well, what kind of amp am I going to get? Oh, well, why don't I just get this thing and try it? And it didn't really sound the way I wanted it to. And then I ended up selling it. And then I think I brought it. I bought it the night we were jamming. So I met this guy and his mom in a parking lot at Safeway, and he plugged it in. And then he originally wanted $400 or $400 or something, and I said, okay, I'll buy it. And then he upped the price on me, the bugger. So that, it's like I didn't have that extra money, and they were like, I almost should have just said, no, forget it. You know what? If you're going to change your mind, then I'm not going to bother. So I went across the street, got the extra money, came back, gave it to him, and then I took it to jam practice, and then ended up selling it after. So
There it
and
is, here.
oh, the cream machine, cool. Do you like it? Do you plug that through like is it through an app or through monitors, or how's that work? Or is it like a rack mount thing?
Maybe we should just invite him on here. Chat
Sure.
for a second.
Sure, why not?
All right.
We'll talk amps.
Let's talk amps. Here, Josh, if you can, Josh. I'm sending you the invite and you can just jump right in. Too hard to do over chat, that's for sure. You know what this weekend is, Todd?
This weekend? This weekend for me is tax weekend. We're
Oh.
doing our taxes tomorrow.
It's Rock and Pod weekend. This is the weekend we're supposed to be in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
No fucking way.
What's
Dude.
that? What happened? I don't see the chat, so I don't know what.
No. I'm gonna share it here. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
You see this? I don't have the volume on.
Okay.
Okay, this is right now.
Okay.
Oh my god. I may have put the volume on. And that's Kevin on the right there from In Obscuria.
Is it Ricky?
It's an Ace Frehley song.
He's Frehley.
Yeah. Oh man, if we were there, this is what we'd be doing right now. We'd be jamming with like Kevin. That's Kevin on the right with the playing bass.
Be jamming. Well,
Yeah, they just
their
open
players.
mic shit going on.
Oh, I see.
Oh man. Yeah, we decided not to do Rock and Pod for a few reasons.
Yeah, anniversaries and stuff.
There's Josh. Josh was here. He'll join in a second. Yeah, I wanted to go to Rock and Pod, man, but holy shit! Like, hey, dude, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Not too bad.
Sweet.
Hanging out on a Friday night.
I picked up a Friedman. Was it JJ? Is it JJ? They call it.
Oh yeah, the Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah.
I've got that. It's was it 20 watts, and it's got a thing in the back. I guess you can kind of change it. But that little amp that you have, that Hugh and Gettner, I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, it came out in the late '80s, and I don't know if people didn't really understand how to use it because you could direct record. It had like I guess the Hughes and Kettner had at the time like a red box that would sound like a 4x12 mic'd, but they built that into that little preamp,
Oh, nice.
and then it has a little 1 watt amp, so you can actually power like a 4x12 enclosure with it. Sounds pretty cool.
You can record off of it too, though.
Oh, was that?
You can record off of it as well.
Yeah. It was a little too advanced at the time. People just like didn't get it. It's just like this little box, but can do all these different things.
Right.
And the clips online sound really good. So I saw it on Reverb, and I bought it today. I'm still waiting for it to come in, but I'm excited about it.
Cool.
What's that called, Todd? The gas?
Yes.
Gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I got it too. I got.
Yeah.
You probably can't see it.
Well, like I was probably like 15 or 16, and my guitar tech, he used to work on Alan Holdsworth's gear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
So
Jeez.
so people would send him all this stuff and for Alan to try, and then he would just leave it there. So I got to play through a lot of gear, and then there was this red Charvel that was sitting there. I started playing it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's Alan's." Oh
God.
and then where I got into the gear acquisition syndrome, he was pretty tight with Seymour Duncan, and he goes, "Yeah, there's this thing called the custom pickup, and I Seymour hinted that he made this for Eddie Van Halen, so I don't think I ever rode my bike so fast to go buy something."
Actually,
Yeah.
I've got actually Sean, that when we were playing with Ray, the white
Yeah,
guitar
yeah.
I had, that
Yeah, the
one
white guitar, yeah.
yeah, that's the one I had a custom in there. It was a white one actually. When I went to what's that Yamaha Music on Portage.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they only had it in white, and it was like cool because that's the same color as my guitar, so it was like perfect. But yeah, it has a specific tone to it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and I mean, it was interesting to hear what Alan liked, and what he didn't, and um I know there's that thing that tones in the hands, but you know we've all followed Van Halen's catalog, and he gets a different kind of gets a slightly different tone with each record. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it gear has a little influence on it, and he was always chasing tone, so things varied. I have my favorite tones of his, and I'm still chasing that, still trying to play catch up. So
Have you played like a Wolfgang pickup?
I have. It's pretty cool. Um, that is similar to a custom to my ears, at least.
Yeah, very similar.
Um, and uh, he there was a Alan Holsworth like really kind of low powered pickups, and I think Ed got into that because of Alan because they were kind of tight for a little while,
Right.
and so
When it gets too hot, it almost loses something. You
yeah,
lose some flavor. It's almost
yeah,
sounds sterile. It's like let's make it really hot. Well, the hotter you make it, the more it seems to lose its character for some reason.
yeah, yeah. I Someone mentioned, I think it may have been Pete Thorne. He said like lower output pickups actually distort more, but you get more thud and compression with more heavier output pickups.
Right. Yeah, I like
And
mine.
but I like the JB myself.
Yeah,
It's
that's the meat and potatoes of the '80s, I think.
yeah,
GB.
it's a one trick, and it's a good trick.
Yeah,
Um,
for
um,
sure.
Have you played the what is it called? The EVH Wolfgang guitar, Josh?
yeah, yeah. The guitar that has a really amazing neck is like the newer Frankie. That neck is really amazing. And then I guess the ones that don't have the
What's
stripes on them, those
Wait,
Frankies.
what is that? Is it just a Frankenstrat or
Yeah, it looks just like the copy of his
okay?
beat up one.
Who's making
And
those?
it's the EVH brand.
Oh, it's the EVH brand. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And that has a great neck on it. And I put together some parts casters through Warmoth and Musicraft. Musicraft has like I think they copied one of Ed's necks to the finest detail.
Hmm.
Um, and you know,
So
I mean,
are they scalloped?
um, not that I've seen, but they kind of have a kind of an asymmetrical feel on the heel where you grab the neck. So it's not quite a C shape, and it's not quite a D shape. And I think that's the
Okay.
magic why people like those so
Ah,
much. So
Yeah. So
I've never.
if you look at the back here, I've got this is the Wolfgang.
oh
We got it
yeah,
on the wall now.
Yeah. This is the one I made. It even has the reflectors in the back and the hoops for the um, for the straps.
Simulated cigarette burns in the
This
right
one I
places.
made also. Um, and like when you say gas, of course, this is the
What the hell is this, Todd? I don't think I've seen this. Jesus Christ,
oh, I
Todd.
got this yesterday.
Ah, come on, Todd.
This is the 78
Mm-hmm.
oh,
eruption, or is that what they call it? The eruption. Um,
and it's got like a fender trim on it, like not a
yeah,
Floyd.
yeah, exactly. It's got the
Oh,
Fender stamped things on it. So this is the actual one, whereas the one back here is the one I had made. So when you put them side by side, this one here, the white is almost like an antique white.
Yeah.
It's not very white.
Like
Yeah, and then
cigarette stain white.
it's got the rash in the back, but it's got the solid
Oh,
block there.
I like the sound of the Fender trim better than the Floyd myself, but that's a
Yeah,
personal taste.
yeah, it has a different tone to it for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I know what you mean by gas.
Mhm. So, Josh, you're in the U.S., right?
yeah. San Diego.
San Diego. Okay, I never knew where like what end you were at. Have you heard of Rockin' Pod before?
Is that Kevin?
Kevin from an Obscuria, he goes to that thing every year.
Okay. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard of it.
Todd and I were supposed to be there this weekend, but we kind of backed out. It's Todd's 10-year anniversary with his lovely lady. So we are like, oh, it's probably not a good month to go away, you and I on a bro weekend or whatever. So we opted not to go, and they keep posting shit, and I'm like, oh god, they're having so much fun. Or Kevin's is playing with a whole bunch of people right now live. I don't
Cool.
know.
Well, they're gonna have it
So
next year, aren't
basically, what's that?
they? Gonna have it next year, aren't they?
Oh, they have it every year.
Okay.
But it's a bunch of 80s, like Josh, you'd like it. It's a bunch of 80s bands. I was just looking at the lineup for this year. So, like, for example, they got like, oh, and Kevin from In Obscuria they have an interview lined up with Billy Sheehan.
Oh,
Right
really?
on.
Fucker. I'm pissed off at him. I'm so mad.
Wow.
They get Ace. I don't know who this guy is. Ace Van Johnson from LA Guns. Does that ring a bell with you?
I've heard the name, but I've not.
Yeah, I've heard
They
that.
got Anthony Corder, the singer from Tora Tora, is there. Ron Keel is there. He's there every year. Robert Fleischman.
Oh,
Oh
same
shit,
with
Vinnie Vincent.
Vinnie Vincent. Yeah.
He was the singer, right? On the first album. Brian Forsyth from Kicks. Who else do they got?
Yeah, Billy Sheen
No,
went to interview.
Billy Sheen's huge. Is a huge get. They got a lot of local bands. It looks like they had Troy Lucetta from Tesla, but it looks like he bailed. But basically, it's a bunch of podcasters and a bunch of like hair metal and kind of classic rock dudes. And
Yeah.
then the way it works is if you're a podcaster, you can sign up for a table. If you get a table, then you get to put your name in a hat to interview anybody rock stars in attendance. So basically the rock stars will have, I don't know, say like 10 slots. So
Mhm.
then you put your name in a hat and you might get one of the 10 slots. But Evan from In Obscuria has managed to he got Anthony Corder from Tora Tora, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't know if you're a fan or not, but I love Tora Tora.
Oh, that album, that Walking Shoes.
Walking Shoes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's that.
that was a great riff. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
That whole album's phenomenal. Todd and I used to do a version of one of their songs when we used to play in Classic Embers. And we basically played Folsom Prison Blues, but we would each verse was a different type of music. So the opening verse was like traditional Johnny Cash, right? The traditional version of the Johnny Cash song. The second one, maybe I can't remember. This is a long time ago. The second one would be more like traditional blues, and then the third one would be I can't remember the anyway Tora Tora song. So using that, but using the Johnny Cash lyrics, and then we kind of each verse was a different type of blues. So that was always fun.
Yeah.
Remember,
They're great band.
remember Tora Tora, and then I picked up Salty Dog. I think it was the band.
Okay,
Trying to go back to that time. Sometimes I get them kind of blended.
Salty
But
Dog. Todd's laughing because I think my old band was called Salty Bear, and it was a take on Salty Dogs, like Salty Dog. What the hell's that? So we had a band called Salty Bear that Todd would play guitar with us from time to time. But yeah, Salty Dog wasn't that? Now I gotta look it up. The hell was Salty Dog? Maybe, do you own Salty Dog?
no, it's been Boy, it's been a long time.
Oh, here we go. Maybe we should just play it. Salty Dog. Let's see what we can find. I really wanted to go down that weekend because I've become friends with Kevin in Obscuria, and he's a good dude. You listen to their show?
So, sometimes I get kind of lost, but yeah, I've heard it.
Here's a Salty Dog. Oh wait, no, this isn't right, is it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sweet little baby, she's my hot dog bun. Come along with me, just about a barrel of fun. Gonna brush myself once right across the hair. Like old Mother Hubbard.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm saving that right now.
It's pretty straightforward stuff. Yeah.
No, it's good though.
Not overly produced.
But you can hear the separation though, like
Oh, yeah.
of what's going on. Was it Kevin Brown talking about like separation in music nowadays? Like there's none. He was talking about Wolfgang's album, and everything is
Yeah.
it's just a wall. Like you can't separate anything. It's just wall.
I think
You know?
a different kind of truth is kind of like that too.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's kind of fatiguing for me to listen to that. It's just it's a little too it's a real dense record.
But I think Wolfie probably had a big hand in it too, right? And that's the sound he
Yeah.
liked. And different kind of truth happened more or less because of him, because he basically willed it into existence, right? So it's
And
probably his sound they were going for.
I think he picked Shanks. I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That sounds right. But
Yeah.
Todd was asking this the other day. I can't remember what podcast we were on, if it was ours or someone else's. I forget now. We were talking about oh, what the hell was you saying, Todd? I forgot.
Here's the music,
Lost-
or
Well, it was you were talking about the wall of sound. The fuck we were talking about now?
so it was like a band or a song that we were listening to, and it was just
Yeah, and you're like, oh, you're. That was probably when we were talking about November Rain.
oh, maybe it was.
You heard that one, Josh?
Oh, I've just
Or
talking about.
Decimation.
I think I've made fun of November Rain about the drum fills.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
The
made
one
some
drum
mention.
filled repeated
Yeah.
ad nauseum.
Yeah.
I don't like Matt Sorum, man. I do not. Like wasn't he the drummer in the Cult?
Yeah, and
That was him, right?
he actually auditioned for David Lee Roth's band, and he didn't get it because he didn't play double bass drum.
Oh, really?
That was probably one of the reasons. But yeah, he Greg Bassine mentioned that Matt Sorum was walking out, and you know he's mentioned something about the double bass drum, so just made him more prepared or something like that.
Hey, no one's ever answered this question for me, and I'm wondering if you know anything about it. So when Billy Sheehan left the David Lee Roth band, he left like they did Skyscraper, and he was on Skyscraper. I don't even know if he was on every song, but he was on most of the songs, I believe.
Yeah.
Then in the credits on the album, it says Greg Bisonet and Matt Bisonet or something on bass.
Yeah, Matt played. He played on a couple things. I know he played on. I think Just Like Paradise.
Well, he was in the video,
Yeah.
sure. But who was that actually Greg's brother?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, okay. Like
The-
talk about like a weird situation to get into, because nobody can play like Billy.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
he supposed to emulate all Billy's parts? Like
Yeah, they probably didn't play. I'd be curious to see if they played Shy Boy
I doubt
that
it.
tour.
I doubt it. Oh my God.
There's
Uh,
there's a uh, there's a take of Eddie playing bass on Hot for Teacher, and he's doubling that tapping intro on bass.
what?
Yeah, and they didn't keep it because Michael Anthony would have it actually, live wouldn't be able to pull that off.
God, no. No.
But yeah, there's a take somewhere in the vaults with Eddie on bass doing like the unison double unison lines of the guitar and the bass doing that tapping intro.
Oh, now I need to find it.
I am always, I take a stab at it every couple
Sorry,
months
was
to
it in?
find it.
It was Shy Boy though, specifically, right?
What's that?
It was Shy Boy specifically.
Oh no, it's Hot
Okay.
for Teacher.
Oh, Harvard teacher. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Sean Big.
So
Let's see if the Google machine will. No,
Pick it up.
no.
Well, there was a lot of songs. Wasn't there an album that Eddie did all the bass?
Van Halen 3.
Was it Van Halen 3?
Oh yeah, because
I
Michael only played like on 3, maybe 4 songs or something.
I think he did the bass on those two bonus track or the two tracks on the best of. That's what I've heard as well.
Oh, okay.
Heard that. Yeah, yeah. It's a strange world there.
You know, one of the things I guess that I this never came up in the when the More Than Words came up on by Castle Rock, but Extreme kind of got pigeonholed into that whole ballad
Acoustic.
category, right? Acoustic ballad category. Then every like Firehouse and all those other types of bands like that had that type of song. And when Mr. Big came out and they got lumped into that too. But like Addicted to That Rush,
Mhm.
there's a few songs where it's just complete shred. And I don't know. It's like I find that Mr. Big was a heavier band than people gave them credit for. But yeah, they had nice songs. Green
Mhm.
Tinted 60s Mine, is something that comes to mind. They kind of had a little bit of everything, but I think they were just so talented. They just got pigeonholed because of that one song they did.
The,
Just like Extreme. Like there's a lot of parallels between those two bands.
the curse of the hit.
Yeah, and they were both number one worldwide hits, I think.
Yeah, I think the Mr. Big one was huge, huge, everywhere. Like just
Yeah,
Definitely.
because I remember I was working. I was in retail. I was just a kid, and one of the girls from the store came over and walked over to me. Oh, I heard this song from. They're called Mr. Big. And I'm like, oh, okay, because I wasn't aware that that song was a single or anything. Because I bought the album because it was a Billy Sheehan album. Bought the album, grew into it, and there's that song at the end. I listened to like I listened to the whole thing and get to the end, and yeah, the song's fine, but I didn't. It wasn't like the best song on the album for me. And then the girl from the bookstore that I worked with, she was like, "Oh, I love this band." I'm like, Mr. Big? Oh, I love Mr. Big. They're the best band ever. I'm like, really? I said, well, let's go listen to some Mr. Big. I got my Walkman here, I had it on cassette. And I'm like, what do you think of this song? And I put Daddy, no, sorry. I guess it was Addicted to That Rush, or maybe it was the second album. I said, well, the second album's out, you gotta listen to it. And Daddy, Brother, Lover, and Little Boy, or whatever, like the opening track, which is where he's playing the fucking drill.
yeah.
Yeah. And I play that, and she's like, oh, this is not Mr. Big. I'm like, oh, it is.
It's not
But
a
the same
ballad.
thing when someone would say, oh, I love Extreme, I love Extreme. And then I would play like, uh, I don't know, Little Jack Horny or something. And they're like, "What the hell is this? It's extreme. I thought you said you loved extreme." I don't know.
Just the radio songs.
Yeah, just the radio songs. I've got a. I think I'm going to share the screen here. I think we got to listen to Addicted to that Rush right now, like right now. So which one should we take? I think we got to listen to it live. Tokyo 1991, Rubicon 2009. 2009.
Yeah, try the newer one.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
Goosebumps.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't Billy remember they used to have, I don't know if it was Guitar Player, but they'd have like these videos, like these instructional videos. Ingrid Malmsteen teaches how to play arpeggios or whatever. And then there was like wasn't there a Billy Sheehan one? He goes, "Okay, this is listen, guys, this is really easy. I'll show you how to do this." And it's like, easy? Are you kidding me? Oh
Yeah.
my God. Was that actually Pat Torpey on
Yeah,
that was him there, right? Because he had
yeah.
passed away. This is before he passed away. Pat Torpey, I had no idea how great he was, but I someone sent me a bunch of just kind of like him playing, and people didn't talk about him enough. He was so good.
I remember I did friends of mine. We did a tribute to Eddie Van Halen when he after he passed. Like it was within a couple weeks, and we rented out like a rehearsal room and um, invited a bunch of people to. We basically played 4 hours of Van Halen music live, and I was surprised to find out the drummers were so excited to do it.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I, I never understood that Alex was revered in that community,
Yeah.
and they were all just really, really excited about it, particularly hearing them just discuss "Out of Love Again."
Oh
The that was they were
yeah.
like saying that's Alex's bottom moment,
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know, and and I remember playing the songs, in that room, like how heavy uh, Everybody Wants Some is. Like that's a
Mhm.
really heavy song. It's
Oh yeah.
thunderous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was still probably the best night of my life. Just I mean, it was just a bunch of musicians kind of honoring Eddie and the band, and we snuck in a few Hagar songs, but it was mostly was mostly Roth era, just for the familiarity and but yeah, the that that kind of that mid tempo groove is something they just absolutely nailed.
That was the thing that they had this groove, like
Yeah,
it was well, the Van Halen shuffle or whatever all the time.
yeah.
But that was, I mean, that was Alex and Eddie, and how weird is it? It's unusual, but the guitarist and the drummer playing together. That's not normal. Like that's not typical, right?
The,
It's usually
the,
the rhythm section is their own thing.
yeah. And learning all that material, um, what I got out of it was that like most shredders take really, really long solos, and Ed doesn't. His solos
No.
are kind of short,
Yeah.
and
Hasty.
they had killer intros, short solos, and then like the backing vocals were a hook in of themselves.
Yep. Oh, it sounds so good. Like, listen to the drums on this, Josh. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But even like he like there's so many accents that Alex does as a drummer. Like he's definitely one of my favorites. He's probably top two, I guess. But he does these little things where he's a lot of drummers it'll be right.
Yeah.
But he wasn't always doing shit like that. He was doing groove stuff where he would play off the hi-hat. Nobody played off the hi-hat like him. But he wouldn't just, it wasn't just like 16ths or 30 seconds he was doing on the hi-hat. No, that's not the way he worked. There would be like a Latin kind of, I don't know, arpeggiate is not the right word, but like he was always doing these weird fucking things that was so creative. And it's like, you're only playing the hi-hat.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. Like you could listen to his hi-hat work or his ride cymbal work and know it was Alex. Period.
A friend of mine, Bruce Boyer, he was recording the all his Van Halen tributes. He was engineering those, and he said they're recording "Light Up the Sky," and it was with Yngwie, Doug Pinnick
Pinnick?
from
King's X.
King's X, Billy Sheehan on bass, and Vinny Colaiuta on drums. And Vinny really dug Alex's parts. They were very alien to him, but he really enjoyed those.
Oh man.
Watching,
And
yeah, I mean, I'm a total Neil Peart fan, like Rush when it comes to drums. It was like he's so technical, he was so perfect in his execution, and I never really paid attention to Alex. But now when I'm listening to Van Halen, it was always like the guitar part, the guitar part. That's all I really concentrated on. But then after a while, when you kind of go, okay, you know what? Let me expand what I'm listening to the drums. And when you listen to it, yeah, and what Sean just played now is like I never really realized how much he did when it came to his drums, because I thought it was just kind of just a regular kind of drummer. And a lot of people said that he was very technical. And it was like, what do you mean by technical? But when you listen to Rush, it's like, that's technical. But when you go down from that, it wasn't really something that I really paid attention to until just recently. But yeah, when you listen to it now, it's like, wow, he was in the groove doing different things. It wasn't just a straight beat type thing. He was,
Yeah.
working the whole kit.
That's what I like with his book release. Like he's kind of, I think people are kind of like, oh yeah, Alex was in that band too, or Alex was really great. Like I think people forget, and it's unfortunate. Well, Eddie was so good, but if Alex was in any other band, he would have been like the guy, right? But man, it doesn't diminish his playing at all. Like I'm a massive Alex fan. I always will be. And like if you think about like their background, like you've read probably several of the books, Josh. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So like where they talk about the trip over like overseas when they traveled to oh my God, where are they from?
Holland.
Amsterdam,
Yeah.
Holland. Thank you. When they traveled from Holland on the boat all the way to America, um, they had to. The only way they could pay for it was for Jan to, okay, well, we're going to play some music to pay for our way across on the boat, and it would be Jan and the two kids, and they'd be playing some jazz or some whatever it was, and the kids had to learn how to adapt to play live. I'm sure a lot of improvisational stuff, and then they had their classical training when they moved to America. So they're both learning classical on piano.
Yeah.
Like that definitely informs both of their playing. Like Alex, he's not playing AC/DC here. He's playing like some really complicated rhythms from multiple different styles of music, from big band to swing
Mhm.
to to jazz to and then traditional music from their homeland too, right? Like if you think about that melting pot of influences that Alex has on his playing, and then he works in some John Bonham stuff too. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's nobody like him.
Yeah, definitely can hear it in his playing for sure. All those different genres.
Yeah.
And Ed has he has a drumming background because apparently he got the drums first.
Right.
Yep.
Then they switched.
But I think the way Eddie attacks his guitar, that like you can hear that, right? Like
Yeah.
isn't he kind of like, I'm not a guitar player, but there's a percussive quality to the way he plays. That's for sure.
Almost like a swing. Like that's
Yeah.
makes it tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an amazing groove.
The interesting thing is, they didn't bounce from band to band. They were always together.
Yeah.
Where some of my other favorite guitar players, they finally found some group of people that they could actually, that could commit and play. Like George Lynch, was bouncing from band to band, and finally he
Yeah.
found something. Um, and it's interesting. Those,
You
I
found you
mean,
found somebody you could hate.
yeah. Well, do something you love with people you can tolerate. Well, yeah, but I guess you had to compromise on that part. So
Yeah.
that
Don did not get along.
someone told me though that the worse that Don sings, the happier George is, and the better he
I've heard that.
plays. Yeah,
I've heard that.
But
Oh,
Lynch,
you suck tonight. I'm just gonna shred. But I'm sure it never goes the other way where George is playing really shitty and then all of a sudden Don's got his 1980s voice right back. I doubt that ever happens.
yeah. At the book signing or the book Q&A that Alex did for that Brothers book,
Yeah.
I sat across uh, Jeff Pilson from
Oh,
Dokken
really?
and Foreigner. Yeah, so we chatted a
Nice.
little bit. That was
wow.
kind of cool. There's quite a few people, and I also ran into Michael from the podcast, and
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, that was that was an interesting night. All these Van Halenites converging, and because Alex so rarely makes any public appearances, it's wild to kind of see him right there.
Yeah, you never saw him in any interviews or anything. It was just once his book came out, it was the first time I actually heard him talk, I think.
Yeah.
The only other time I think I heard him talk is when him and Eddie were talking about Dave leaving the band, and he had a few comments about it. But that was
Yeah.
about the only time I'd ever heard from him.
Did you see
Did
the
you
Bill Hader version of that?
Bill Hader version? No.
Yeah, he said that he's obsessed with that interview. So him and Armisen and someone else, they kind of pretend that they're the brothers. You know,
What?
yeah. I'll send it to you. But he says that he's
Oh
there's
wait, I
so
think I have here.
so obsessed with that interview where they're going like, no judgment, no judgment. Yeah, no judgment, no judgment.
I think
Just going
I think
back
I
and
might
forth.
have it here. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play it here. Let's see what this sounds like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Van Halen brothers.
Wait, I don't think I've shared screen though. Hang on. All right, let's see what this looks
Because
like.
there's an interview with the Van Halen brothers that I'm obsessed with. Remember when David Lee Roth joined them on stage at the VMAs?
Yes, when they were floating the possibility of a
Possibility
reunion,
of getting back together.
and like that's the night that David Lee Roth kind of killed the
He
possibility
blew it
for years.
Yeah, because he pissed them off. Eddie Van Halen's like, it's like he goes out there and Dave's doing his stuff like bobbity bobbity bobbity.
He's doing this up and bottom best piece with the pops.
And it's always Alex Van Halen is always just interjecting. It was like, Dave went out there.
Bottom line, his work ethic sucked.
His work ethic sucked. No judgment. No judgment.
No judgment. No judgment. Just a fact.
Guy's work ethic stunk. Terrible. And then this guy, he goes out there going bobbity, but it was totally disrespectful to Beck. Totally disrespectful. It was Beck's moment. Totally disrespectful to Beck.
Disrespectful to Beck. Very disrespectful to Beck.
And then John Mulaney and Fred Armisen and I had a text chain as the Van Halen brothers rear-ending somebody. And it was... I can't remember I do remember that they called a press conference about the rear ending that no one cared about, but they just assumed it was going to be new. And they were up at the thing and no one was asking questions, but Eddie Van Halen was going one at a time, one at a time.
Oh my god.
One at a time. Did everybody stop? And everybody's just sitting there.
Shit.
Yeah, no, the one I was thinking of was when Dave had just left the band, and then there was another interview. But yeah, Alex was there, similar to this. They were sitting down talking about it, but I think Sammy on that interview. I can't remember now.
Well, there was. I think I know the one you mean. And then there was also when Sammy left the band, and Eddie was coked out of his brain. He looked like he'd been on like a 7-day bender,
right?
And he yeah, man. And Sam, you left the band. He was just oh man, I don't know. It's like sometimes I wish we didn't see that stuff because I don't want the curtain pulled back on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some footage of Eddie playing, and he just looks just strung right out. And I think that was when he had his cancer bout. But yeah, he wasn't at his best at the time. It was a shame that they had all that footage, but it is what it is, I guess.
I'm gonna share something else. I don't know why I'm doing this, but here we go. Make sure I got the right screen here. Now to give some context, wait, hang on. So to give some context, I played this for Todd once. I didn't realize what
shreds
series was. So I played it for Todd, and I think I honestly I wasn't sure if you were going to cry or not because you thought it was real. Have you seen this, Josh?
I've seen the Ingve version.
Oh, this one's painful.
But it,
Much more than this I can watch.
oh my god! And when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, what has he done?" Until I realized it was, because it was the first time I'd ever heard of that. And
Oh,
his fingers matched everything, but it sounded like it was coming out. So it was pretty funny.
I
Sounds like
remember.
Guitar Center.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
walk into the Guitar Center.
I remember I played this for you, Todd, and I just discovered Shreds, and I saw, I don't know, I guess the Ingve one probably, and a bunch of other ones, and Metallica ones, and then the Iron Maiden one was the best because they were playing circus music the whole time. Um, but I remember I played this one for Todd. And I did it as like a prank. Say, yeah, there's this great performance at NAM that you need to watch. I think Todd was all excited. I don't know if Todd you remember this at all, but I remember you watching and you were just like getting really upset.
Watching a car accident
Yeah.
going on.
Well,
What's happened to my idol?
I was at a guitar camp, like I think it was like 1990, and Mike Varney came by to kind of just talk about what he's looking for and signing artists. And someone asked him about Ingve, and I guess Ingve would once in a while send a telegram or something to tell Mike Varney to stop signing clones of himself to his label. And then Mike played a tape of Ingve in the studio when they were recording, I think Steeler or something like that. And they were arguing about sound or something like that. And Ingve said, obviously, you've not learned the essence of recording like I did on my 4-track. He flies this guy out from Sweden and then, he drops that on him.
Oh, Ingve. Oh man. Hey, are we good to call it here? I get a
Yeah.
the kids have been crying for like an hour. My wife is with them, which is fine. They're not dying, but Abby would my daughter Abby, who's the oldest, she recently discovered wrestling. I don't know how or why, but now it's like, Dad, how long are you podcasting for? Well, I don't know, like an hour and a half. Can you make it an hour? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it goes till it goes. You promised me we're gonna watch wrestling today.
You better go watch wrestling.
I have to go to bed at 9. We haven't watched wrestling yet, Dad. Just like deadpan, complete deadpan. She just that's our time. Like me and Ellie, we watch like superhero movies, but Abby, it's like she wants to watch wrestling, which I don't understand. She's the least violent kid I know. But anyway, so I promised I would watch a match before she goes to bed. So I gotta go do my dad duty.
Yeah, absolutely.
But thanks for jumping on, Josh. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
Good.
no, we had no direction today, zero direction,
Which
just
is normal.
that which is normal. But thanks for doing this. And Todd, where can you find us?
You can find us at seanmcginity.ca. That's SEANMCGINITY.ca. That's it.
And all social media at Sean Geek Podcast. I guess I don't know. I think we're live streaming every time now. It seems to be the thing we're doing, and we'll fuck up the live stream every single time and not get the right link out every time, guaranteed.
First 10 minutes will be just a combobulation of errors.
Todd's like, we're live, right? No, it's not up yet. And I'm looking, fuck, it is up already.
Or
Uh,
it's or you turn it off, but you turn the recording off, but the live feed's still on.
well, I did a live feed last Friday. I did a solo one. Yeah, Josh, you were there, and I ended up not hitting record on my pod track, so I had to cobble audio from YouTube part I got on my pod track, and then I guess I'd recorded a third thing somewhere else, and I just cobbled them all together. But I made it work. You know, I record in three different places for that reason because I'm an idiot. But anyway, so
All right.
we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Sounds good.
I need to talk to you here after we're
Have a
done.
good night.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Here we go. Just a question. When are you back from Portugal?
Listen, when are we back in Portugal?
Portugal, yeah.
Portugal, we had originally planned for next year, but we canceled it so we could go to Moncton, or we delayed it so we could go to Moncton this year instead.
Right.
And then our plan was to do Portugal next year, and then we were talking to Danica and stuff. I was like, we gotta do Moncton, we gotta do Moncton.
Right.
It's been 18 years or whatever the hell it's been.
Right.
So we did Moncton this year, and we're like, we don't think we can do Portugal next year.
Right. Are you going to be here in March?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the situation. Usually when we go to our holidays, we get Danica to come and watch Winston.
Right.
Winston, she would usually stay over for the week in February. Now, the thing is, now that we're going to Tegan's wedding, we're not too sure what to do with Winston. Although Jenna is supposed to be moving back to Winnipeg from Germany.
Oh.
Yeah, she's supposed to be coming back. But she was also invited to the wedding. So we're not too sure if they're going or not. They may not be able to. If they don't, that's our first recourse of watching Winston.
Sure.
Or away. The kind of last ditch thing is to I was going to see if you can. I mean, I'd be even willing to pay you. Someone needs to come over once a day just to feed Winston, just to say hello type of thing. I mean, it's the first time that someone hasn't been here all the time, but even if there's someone who comes in just to see, make sure he's okay, and his food bowl is full, and his water and whatever the litter thing. But I was going to ask if it was possible, like this would be kind of the last resort, if it was possible for a week.
Figure something out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be for a week. It would be the week of March 16th to the 20th, because that's when Tegan's getting married that week. Like, we're off for 2 weeks, but we'll be away for the first week. The second week we'll be home.
They'll be home.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to put it out there and see if it, if it was a possibility, if you could.
I mean, I'll make it work. If that's the like, if you've got no options, I'm not going to leave you out in the lurch for sure.
Yeah, like we've never had him with anyone else. Like, we don't travel with him. Like, so
what did you do? What did you do last time? Did Tegan stay when you guys went to Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
I never even thought about that. I'm like, shit, what did you guys do?
Yeah. So last year she actually stayed here, and then last year, and then the year before she did the same. But being that it's her wedding, she's not going to be here. So it's like, oh crap. Well, that kind of screws things up. But Jenna might be moving back before that time, and if she's not at the wedding, then she would be the first choice, and then that would be fine.
So,
but it's just kind of one of those things where we're more worried about Winston than anything else, because it's like we've never had him.
It's the same thing with us. Like, I totally understand. Like,
Yeah.
we're panicking about our trip to Moncton right now. Like Tegan's not available.
T's not
But
available for that week. No.
no, but our main plan is to send them to daycare.
Hmm.
They have you can they can either stay in a crate or they can stay in a what they call a hotel, which is
Right.
basically they get their room or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
And he loves it there, but he's all about human companionship. He loves playing with other dogs. He'll go nuts. But the minute he leaves daycare, it's all like it's just nonstop cuddling, like nonstop. Like
Yeah.
he wants to be held and he wants to be touched and you know. So we're like, so we asked Tegan right away because Danica said, "Well, just tell Tegan. This is what Tegan does as a career. Like, ask her." And then, of course, well, Tegan wasn't available because there's a weekend here that didn't work. So we're like, we're thinking of like maybe he spends a couple of nights at daycare. So we were trying to figure that out. Like, worst case scenario, he stays at daycare the whole time, which isn't the end of the world. Because
Right.
I don't care about the money side of it. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about him. You know, like how would he adjust being there? Like he did overnight, and he was just exhausted. It was you can tell it was like sensory overload.
Yeah.
He needs his downtime, and there's no downtime at daycare.
Yeah. I
You
guess
know,
unless he has his own room for the evening and go, okay, well, this is quiet
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Everything. But if he's with other dogs the whole time, his senses are always
yeah. He can't
operating
just
at their
go into
best.
a corner and just sit down and relax. Like he's just incapable of like it's the nature of that breed, I guess. But we also have a couple of backups. Like Gwen's parents said, "Oh, Gwen will do it." And Gwen's only like I think Gwen's 15 now,
Right.
and I'm like, well, if Gwen's doing it, then that means her parents are doing it and then we thought of asking like Maya and Olivia, same thing.
Right.
Then it's like, yeah, but then Mark's going to end up doing all the work because it's what happened last time.
Yeah.
Mark said, "Oh, I just stayed at your house for the whole week." I'm like, well, we were paying the kids to come stay. He says, "Well, don't pay the kids because they didn't do anything." I said, "Well, I got to pay you now." He goes, "No, you don't."
Right.
So I don't know, but no, but yeah, like I'm not gonna leave you guys in the lurch. Like I'll figure something out. Like maybe it's well in March it wouldn't be too bad. Like the kids walk home from school. I mean, I could go there right after work,
Yeah.
and I get off at 3. Anyways, it's not like the end of the world. I get off at 3. I could probably get to your place fairly quickly, and
Okay.
then
Well,
come home after that.
okay. Well, it's only kind of the last
Yeah,
in case we'll get to Jenna to come and watch if she's here. But if
yeah,
she's not, then then we're like, well, we've never had him with anyone else because
well, yeah. I never
we're
had
usually
you.
home all the time, so we don't have a bunch of people over or bring him with us to go anywhere
Yeah,
to know anyone else. I mean, he knows, but there's not really anyone else that we trust him with. So it's like,
yeah,
so I thought I'd ask. And yeah, so it's good to know that we have that option if we need it.
yeah.
Hopefully we won't, but if we do, then yeah, it's good. Appreciate it.
Yeah, mom kind of I get a bit of a guilt thing from mom about like 'cause we said like I it's not that I don't want to go to the wedding. Like I do want to go to the wedding for sure. I want to go to the wedding. But it was the same thing when Danica had her like the destination things here. There's a whole like if we went, we wouldn't want to take the kids, probably.
Right.
But then all of our sitters are going to be at the wedding, right? And then we've never left the kids with Rosa and Manny for more than an overnight.
Right.
So if they had to be there for a week, like I don't think that would go well. Like mom, like you know what mom's like, how she was with your kids. Mom is fucking great with my kids.
Yeah.
I don't need to worry if mom's
No.
looking after
Oh,
the
hell
kids.
no. Not at
But
all.
with Rosa and Manny, I mean, they love the kids, don't get me wrong, but they're of the way they treat child rearing is, oh, you guys got to find something to do on your own.
Right.
Like that's the way they are. And it's like, well, what are we going to do? There's nothing to do here.
That was like the
There's
way
no
we
Wi-Fi. There's
go
no.
outside, go play. We'll see you at supper time.
Well, yeah, that's the mentality, right? So it's like we would never leave them for a week with them. And it's like, well, who else could we do? It's like there is nobody else. If we don't have sitters, right? So but I know Deegan's kind of like worried that there's going to be nobody there. But it's like, well, I know, but
Yeah.
like it like for like like when you have kids, it's a whole other like the logistics of planning anything when you have kids. It's intimidating.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to take them with you, but then
Yeah.
again, it'll get expensive.
Yeah. But I mean, which would be fine, but it's like, okay, well, I don't know. They're going to be bored, man. Like, I know they're going to be bored. Like, when we went to Portugal, it was torture.
Yeah.
So we've decided when we go to Portugal, there's no way we'd ever go for 3 weeks. Period.
Right.
There's no way. Not with the kids. The kids are so fucking about 2 days in, they were done.
Yeah.
So it's like, now what? Like, now what? Like, what do you do? Like, it's not like we can go back.
Right.
Like,
Here's your tablet. That's about the only thing. Yeah.
So yeah, no, like I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna, what do you say, leave you out in the rain or whatever the fuck it say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but I just
Yeah.
need to kind of tie up that
Yeah.
loose end just
I know.
just in case. So I appreciate it.
And then Sylvia already said that you and I are going to KeyCon, so I don't know, because I was like, well,
Yeah,
so I
we got to
guess
go to KeyCon. When is that? Is that's the same place?
May long, same place as last year. But I think it's better It'll probably be the first year.
Well, they're still working out the kinks, so hopefully they'll have a better. Yeah, for sure. I love the so
yeah, I did have fun
when
with
in
that.
doubt, go play pinball.
I don't know if we want to get a room or not. I mean, I'm debating. James already did.
Who did? James, yeah.
James did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, does the price?
I think it's like 250 a night or 300 a night or something. It's like ridiculous. But I mean, that's what hotels are nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. But closer that we get to it, can we still get a room if we wanted to for the same price, or is it one of those things where, oh well, it's only good?
I think it's a limited bank of rooms. I think is how it works, but I don't know.
We can always call and see if there's any left.
Yeah.
We get to that point, yeah. But we can stay here too. I mean, that's
well, yeah.
We're not far, so.
Well, here's what Sylvie said. Sylvie, well, you're not leaving the dog. Like, you have to come home every night because she's not going to be here.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I'd have to come home every night anyway.
Okay.
So,
there's not going to be any heavy drinking going on.
No, you know what? I don't know. I'm less interested in drinking the older I get too. So.
Yeah, unless there's stuff going on. Like when you first went to KeyCon and the stories you were telling me, I was like, yeah, that was a wild time. And it seemed to be like a really fun time. But then as time went on, those people had kids. And then all of a sudden now the kids are showing up. So now you got to, okay, we have to tone it down now. We can't have it the way it was. So now it's like a whole different thing. And it's not even the same thing anymore.